Hey, fourth graders. It is good to be back doing some art with you guys this week. I saw a bunch of you guys did the holiday card competition, and I'm excited to find out the results of that this week. But today and this week, we are back to our op art. So you may have been missing op art. Well, it is back. The next couple of weeks, I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of different op art projects, and you guys will get to do them along with me. So this week, the one that I'm going to show you guys how to do is actually this one right here. It's called the Converging Lines op art, and yeah, let's just jump right in. Basically, today all you are going to need is a piece of paper and something to draw with. If you don't have, pencils or Sharpies or whatever, don't worry about it. Just find what you have. If you have a crayon, if you have an old newspaper, if you have a paper bag, any of that stuff will work to do your project. So I'm going to be using Sharpies, so I'm going to put a folder underneath so that I'm not bleeding the Sharpie onto my desk here. But basically, all you have to do is start with a little dot on your paper, and it doesn't really matter where it is, towards the middle is best. And then you are just going to add 3 or 4 lines that all meet at that dot. So I'll do a couple more here. Just do one this way, like this. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Another way that you can do this is, instead of doing the wavy lines, you can do straight lines. So if you wanted to do straight lines, you can. The important thing is that they all go through a middle point. You don't want just random lines everywhere, otherwise it does not work. They do have to have a point in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this swirly one, I think, because it's gonna be fun. And then you have to add convex lines. So what that means is that you have lines that curve in the same direction. So kind of like when we were doing our hands, those curved lines that kind of go edge to edge is important. And then next to it, instead of doing that same curve, you're actually going to do the opposite curve. We're going to be calling that concave. So you're going to do concave. So I'm actually connecting them from these lines, so like where that left off, and then kind of connecting it over there. And I'm going to turn my page because it's a little easier to do it if you kind of turn your page as you go. Okay, that one ended up a little wonky, but it should be fine. Then more concave or convex lines, so the same direction we did those ones. And then the other direction. There we go. And then we're gonna go back this direction. And then this one is going to go, see how these go over? This one's gonna dip down like a bowl. As much as you can. It's gonna be a little tricky because it's gotta connect over there. Because I made my shape a little big, but it'll work. Then you've got your whole design drawn. Then all you have to do is add color. So one of my students actually did this project this morning, And I figured who better to use as an example than one of you guys, right? So this is her finished piece. How cool is that? So she decided to just go simple, black and white. So she just colored every other space. So if you go back to mine, she just colored every other space black and then left the other one white. But you can do it with color, and you don't have to just do 2 colors. You could do like red and green for these, and then like blue and orange for these. And you could do all different colors as you go. It works best if you have a pattern in each space, but you don't have to have that pattern repeat all the way around. But then your goal is for it to end up kind of like that. So the student this morning, hers she did with these straight lines. So I will show you again using the straight lines. So we're going to start with convex lines. So the curve this direction. And it reminds me of those hands, right? Remember when we were doing the fingers? We did those curved lines. And then these ones are going to be concave. So it's like something is caving in, right? You've got that curve, like something sinking in. It's caving in, concave. And then you're gonna go back this direction. And just, it's every other. So you're gonna go like hills and then valleys, and then hills and then valleys as you go around. And I hope that makes sense. I think that's probably the trickiest part to this, is getting that this is a hill, so then this one needs to be a valley. So if that makes more sense than concave and convex, that's okay with me. I understand that those are kind of advanced terms that you might not be familiar with. So this was a valley, right? Because it kind of makes that V, it like curves in. So then we want to make a hill, okay, for our next lines. Going to be hill lines. And then valley. And then hill. And you can keep continuing these up all the way to the edge too. And then the last one is going to be valley, right? And it's easy to see because both of these are hills. And you just got to connect those two, so that it all connects in the end. Keep going all the way to the top. And I'm just going to make some of these continue so that my design makes more sense here. All the way to the edge. And there you have it. That one turned out a lot better than the other one did. So yeah, then you're just gonna go ahead and start coloring. So if you wanted to make these like Christmassy, you can. I've seen kids turn these into almost, they look like spider webs. So they did like orange and black. You could do like tigers or Halloween colors. You could just do your favorite colors and do them really bright. One other way that I want to show you, this is one that I have done a long time ago. So you can see all the different like patterns, but another thing you can do is do letters. So basically they just have to start small towards the middle, right? And they have to touch the top and the bottom, and they're just getting bigger and bigger as they go. See, mine, I kind of ran out of room, so it kind of tilts up and gets small again. But that's the idea. It would probably have worked better if I had done it in one of these spaces, just because it has more space to grow. But you could do your letters, you could do letters in here too. So you could alternate like I did, where there's some letters and then some of that other pattern. But there's lots of ways that you guys can do this project and make it your own. If you want to do it with square paper, I found that it works really good with square paper too, but it does work with rectangular paper. This paper is really big. but you can do it on any piece of paper you can find and any art materials, honestly. Crayons, markers, colored pencils, just regular pencils. I've had kids do it with just ink pens or just gel pens. Highlighters, you can do it with highlighters. Whatever you can find. And if you really want to challenge yourself, do it with paint. If you've got watercolor paint, how fun would it be to color all these different spaces? So have fun, be creative, and as always, email me what you create. And please email me the full colored one, not just to this step. I just got you to this step because I don't want you guys to have to sit here and watch like a 30-minute video, probably longer than that, of me coloring. These are the finished examples. This is what finished looks like. This is what I want to see. This is what finished looks like. This is what I want you guys to send me. Do not send me your pictures at this step. This is not finished. If it takes you a couple extra days to do the coloring, that's fine. Don't send it to me until it is done. This is not finished. This is finished, okay? Fully colored. And then, yeah, email it to me. Show me what you guys are working on, and I can't wait to show you guys another cool optical illusion next week. Talk to you guys then.